How is that? Are you in okay? Clyde. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little different than normal. I've got my boy Clyde on my back. Good boy, buddy. Clyde is 14 and a half years old. He has been with me through thick and thin for the last 14 and a half years of my life. I've been with Clyde longer than my husband. This little guy has been the best friend that a girl could ever ask for. So sweet and noble and kind and brave and smart and loving and intuitive. And right now we are dealing with the fact that he doesn't have a lot of time left here on the earth plane. Clyde was diagnosed with congestive heart failure about a year ago. I think it was about 10 months ago. He also has had a heart murmur his entire life. And anytime I had ever brought him to the vet, they were just shocked that he lived as long as he had with the heart murmur alone. That being said, this is a dog. This is a fighter. I won't go into too much detail, but when he was I think around 6 or 8 months old, he got hit by a car. And somebody took him into the vet, and by the time I got there, the veterinarian said that he had so much internal damage and broken bones, and that the vet had no idea how this dog survived. He's a warrior, this little guy. Clyde is Havanese Maltese. So what's happening right now is I've had him on heart meds for the last year. I'll link in the description what I have him on if you're curious. And when his cough worsened about a year ago, I brought him to the vet, and that's when they put him on all the heart meds. And they worked really, really well. His cough was better. He had more energy. His quality of life was so much better. I have to watch where I'm going here because I'm in the forest. But there comes a time with any meds that they eventually stop working or even can do more harm than good. So he was starting to not be able to go for walks. And walks are Clyde's favorite thing in the entire world, his entire life. He loves walks, especially nature walks. So when we moved out here, and the only walk we ever go on is a nature walk like this, he is in heaven. So James and I noticed he would run out of breath and cough and just wasn't able to do even a quarter of the walks that he could before. And so I brought him into the vet last week. And the vet, I knew what the outcome was. I knew his time was coming to an end and there was only so much that they could do. But I was kind of hoping for maybe some palliative care or something that could keep him comfortable for the last little bit of time, and there wasn't anything. And there's certain meds that we give him at certain times of the day. And there was one that we give him at dinner. And I noticed that his cough at night, after like an hour after that, was so bad. Like he was basically going into cardiac arrest. I mean, he couldn't breathe. He's coughing and coughing and coughing. And I was so stressed out, which isn't good for Clyde. So James did a little bit of research, and we ended up taking him off of 2 of the meds that we thought were making his cough actually worse, that were helping before, but now we're making things worse. And the last 2 nights, the cough has completely calmed down. Backtrack a little bit to, you good, buddy? Backtrack a little bit to when I went to the vet last week. The palliative care stuff, there wasn't anything that she thought that she could do, but she did talk about end of life. So I got this form with information about euthanasia. I think that's how you just pronounce it. And that just sent me into an absolute tailspin. The thought of not only having to make that choice, that decision, of when that's the end is going to be for him, coupled with just knowing that I would have to make that decision. Whoa. And because of where we live, having to make that decision, perhaps a week in advance, it just absolutely threw me into a total state of shock, anxiety, depression. I was a mess for a good solid 24 hours. Absolute mess. I talked to some family who reassured me, who had gone through something similar to this, that your animal will tell you when it's time. If you're open to receiving those signs from them, they'll tell you, and you'll know in your heart. I definitely didn't know in my heart, but this was when that cough was really, really bad at night, and you don't want them to suffer. So then I talked to my dad, and he told me very, very straight out, like, don't even think about making that decision. Dogs have a plan. They're very evolved creatures, far more evolved than us humans here on the earth plane. It's how I feel. They live in the moment. They don't dwell on the past, and they don't fret about the future. They just live in the moment. And I believe that whenever a dog or any animal comes into the world, their whole path is set. There's a portal for when they come in and when they go out. So that eased my mind drastically. And I was able to be there for Clyde and holding space for Clyde and not panicking and anxiety and crying my eyes out with him. Because that's not how I want him to feel, me, in his final days. That's not how I want our final days to be at all together. And if you've ever had a dog that you're very close to and you're their person, they feel everything that you feel. Everything. Sometimes even before you feel it, I believe. So I also watched a video, and I'd like to shout out Brandy at Grumble Farms. I'll link her down below. One of her videos popped up in my feed, and it was talking about how the best thing that you can do for your dog is give them that time, that peaceful, loving time. As hard as it may be for a human, how we think about things, how we process things, how our emotions work, it's really hard. But if you can find it in yourself, so put that aside and be present and hold space with your animal close to the time of its passing, that's the best gift that you can give them and yourself. And I'm telling you right now, ever since I was able to do that, everything has changed for Clyde. His heart rate resting was 200 beats a minute before. His cough, like I said, was really bad. Now he's just in this amazing, mystical, peaceful state of just being. He sleeps most of the day on the couch. I have a grounding sheet. My dad gave me a hot tip to put a grounding sheet down in his little snuggle spot on the couch, and we move it over to the bed at night, and I sleep with him, spooning him all night, every night. Fortunately, James is sleeping in the guest room right now. That's another thing, having a supportive partner. Man, just having someone there that can understand what you're going through and loves the dog as much as you, or almost as much as you, really helps a lot too. So I don't know what else to say. I just wanted that message to be out that is so important to your energy around this time of the last bit of your dog's life. After everything that they've given you, all the love and support and unconditional love they've given you through their whole life revolves around you. Clyde's, nobody in the world will ever know me as much as this dog. He knows everything. He knows, there's just no words to explain how connected we are. And I'll have my time to grieve and to cry. And those moments that I've gone into the future and thought about him being gone, the pain that I feel in my heart and the sobbing that I did was so deep. Honestly, I've lost close people in my life, and it's been hard. But the thought of losing this little guy just does something a little bit deeper. But I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to be brave for him, because he deserves it. I can hear his little heart beating. Tut, 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 tut. So we're going to go find a little spot, a sunny spot out here. This is his favorite walk. And we're going to sit under a tree in the forest, and we're going to ground together. And we're going to enjoy the sun. And however many days that we have left together, I'm going to cherish every moment for my little guy, Clyde. You hear the ravens, babe? Thanks for watching. And if you're watching this video because you're going through something similar, just remember what I said. Be strong, because they've been strong for you their whole life, and they deserve it. Whatever you feel, they feel. Just remember that. Good boy, buddy. Oh, the ground feels good. Oh, Bobby. That's a good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy, buddy. You're a good brother. You're a good brother too. Yes, you're a good brother. Yes, you are. You puppy. Good boy. Wow. Sorry, Bob. Sorry. Oh dear. Good boy. That's good stuff, isn't it? That's good stuff. Good boy, Bobby. Proud of you, buddy. You're a trooper. You're a trooper. You like it, buddy? Oh, he's a bird. What's that? We have a bird visitor. I believe that when a loved one goes to the other side, they can shapeshift and do shapeshift as birds, because I've had so many really amazing encounters. What the? Bob's on guard. With birds that I've never seen out here before. Really close encounters with birds that, like, shortly after a passing of a loved one, somebody close to me. And there was just this gray bird that has actually been following us since when we were walking and talking. And it's just up here in the tree. I don't know what kind it is. I've never seen it before. Oh. It's okay, Bob. We're safe, buddy. It's okay. We're safe. Well, we are right actually on an animal trail right now, so hopefully we're safe. Clyde's happy. Look at him. Are you happy, Bob? It's grounding hard. I don't know if I mentioned this when I was walking and talking, but it's also important to remember that the other animals in your house that are close to the one that's ready to pass, they feel it too. Bob is Clyde's sidekick, and Bob is 2.5 years younger than Clyde, and he's never known his life without Clyde, so it's It's important to consider their feelings as well, and also that they're living in the moment. But they know, and they will feel and grieve in their way that they do. So can't forget about the other guys. Bob gets lots of love too, and we don't leave Bob out of anything. And he actually hasn't left Clyde's side the entire time. Living in the moment. This is the power of the earth energy right here. I haven't seen his eyes this bright in a week. Of course, he's not looking right now, but he is so charged up. You're even eating deer poo. Clyde! Oh, don't underestimate the power of that earth energy, people. I'm telling you. I feel better too. Bob's fired up. Come on, Clyde. Come on, Clyde. Clydey. Good job, buddy. Oh boy. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on.